Hello, and you're on live with documentary and reporters news. Today we will be focusing on the life of Amerigo Vespucci. Today we will have some questions from students all around America, wanting to know about why their country was named America. And we'll be with you in 5. Okay, so here are some facts about Amerigo Vespucci. Okay, what country did he represent? Well, Amerigo Vespucci represented Florence, Italy. He was born there in 1454. What was the time of his exploration? Well, there were a whole lot of times of his exploration because he did 4 explorations in his life. He went on 4 voyages. And they say that the third one was the most experiencing one that he had, was the most fun one that he had, the one that he liked most. Now, people were accusing him of different things, like Christopher Columbus was mad that he said that he found America and Christopher Columbus didn't. He was mad. So, he said, well, this is what Vespucci said. He said, well, I'm just going to start videotaping, like, you know, writing down my accomplishments so that when I die and everything, I will be famous. And that's exactly what he did, and that's exactly where it got him. He's famous now. So everybody knows him around the country and everything. And he's like, he's a legend. A legend in history. Okay, so in 1501, he went to south of Salvador Island from Spain. So he traveled to Salvador Island from Spain, where he from Florence, Italy, where he was born. So he traveled all the way down to Salvador, where Christopher Columbus was, and he thought that was at the West Indies, but it wasn't. Okay, so let's get a little bit more information about this. Where did they explore? They explored a lot of, very much a lot of everything, okay? He explored America, he explored Brazil, Suriname, and Venezuela before returning to Spain. He met, okay, let me see, okay. He had a dream that one day he would sail to Brazil and change the world forever. He wanted to follow Álvares Cabral. He sailed far off with a crew of over 7,000 people. His interactions with the natives were quite unusual. He could have been violent. Now, his interaction with the natives was like this. It ranged from a warm handshake, a warm, curious handshake, to, I want to kill you. So, like, why are you here? So, some people were like, yes, how are you? Yes, I don't know how to speak, but, you know, yes, how are you? How are you? Yes, how are you? But, like, scratching their head with a curious thing, like, why are you here? But I'm not going to say, I want to kill you, but I'm just saying, like, you know that weird thing that you get when somebody comes in your house that you don't know? And, like, your mom introduced you to somebody you don't know, like, hi. Or it was like, yeah, get out, no. Like, they were taking bow and arrow and shooting it at him and everything. And his people and everything. Okay, so King Craig financed the country of Spain to the South American nation. Amerigo Vespucci's legacy lives on today. In fact, they named our great nation after him, plus the continent our nation sits on and the neighboring continent. Hint, the name America is kind of like Amerigo, right? America, Amerigo, America, Amerigo. He was born in Florence, Italy on the 9th of March, 1451. His studies were interrupted by the plague So his uncle was actually, before he went on all these voyages and everything, his uncle was actually teaching him some stuff. He was actually really studying and everything. His older brothers went to like school in some other countries, and he stayed in Florence, Italy, and he was actually studying a lot of things. And then the plague came over and everything. Everybody started getting sick, and his studies were interrupted by that. So he just wanted to get away from that and everything. From 1497 to 1498, he led the first of his own voyages of discovery. He reached the coastline of America before Columbus did. And Columbus thinks he reached it. Columbus thinks Columbus reached it. But he didn't. That was Amerigo Vespucci. And that's what people think now. They think Christopher Columbus discovered our country. So now we have Columbus Day. Why do we have Columbus Day? Why don't we have Vespucci Day? The natives met him with anything from a warm... I said that already. He traveled to Africa. Also, he traveled to Africa. Yes, he did. And he was trying to travel to the East Indies, but his ship lost. It says challenges he faced. His family was poor, actually, and they were actually friends with a family, one of the families. It's the Borgias family. It's a couple of families, like, you know, those families. His family was friends with one of those families, but his family was very, very poor. Florence was infected by the plague. That's one of the challenges he faced. They were going to the East Indies, but the loss of ships caused them to go to Brazil instead. So that's why he traveled to Brazil, actually. He died of malaria in 1512 in Seville on the 22nd of February. Results of his exploration. The land he found was named after him, and his name is still remembered today. So, accomplishments. He was a map maker. He was a Florentine navigator. He was an explorer, a pilot major of Spain also. Okay, let me just read the list of questions that I need to answer for the kids. Okay, name of explorer. Amerigo Vespucci. Country he represented. Florence. Woo! Time of exploration. Let's see. His time of exploration was 1497 to 1498. Why was the voyage undertaken? The voyage was undertaken because he just wanted to follow this man named Alvarez Cabral. And he studied so much that he wanted to go out and find what he studied and discover what he studied and discover America and discover all these different countries and make peace with the natives and everything. Okay. Where did they explore? Told you that already, but I'm just gonna go over it. Okay, where did they explore? They explored the coastline of Brazil, Africa, Suriname, I think it's Suriname, Venezuela, before turning to Spain, all that stuff. They did that. What did they find? Okay. They found America. That's what they found. America. They found natives. They found America. I'm sure they tried new foods while they were there. I'm sure they did things while they were there. He probably had some markings to mark his spot, like to say, I did this, I discovered this land or everything. Challenges faced.